Did you know that your hair dies? Like every follicle of your hair goes through 4 stages, and one of the stages is death stage. But how comes we never grow bald if hair dies? Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Naureiness. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you are not, thank you so much for coming back again. I am sure you hit that notification button, that is why you're here. And if that's not the case, thank you so much for coming back again. If you are new here, please subscribe if you want more of this content, and if you want to be part of this family where we learn everything about hair and how to become informed consumers. So today's video is going to be handling the questions I asked. Why don't we grow bald? So let's get straight into the structure of the hair. So the hair is composed of the hair cuticle. The hair cuticle is actually the outermost layer, and it's actually known as the epicuticle. Epicuticle is like a thin membrane which is actually rich in protein and fatty acids and lipids. That is why you hear this whole thing of protein treatments and all that, because you're trying to return the spaces, like the lost protein. That's the whole point. So after the epicuticle, we have the A layer. The A layer basically is where the sulfur bonds are, where it actually composes of the sulfur, because your hair has sulfur. Sulfur is one of the building blocks of hair. Apart from protein, the specific protein that is the protein that is in the hair is keratin. Yes, keratin is the protein, and we have sulfur. So the layer after the epicuticle, the A layer, has sulfur. And the next layer, the layer beneath now, is the exocuticle, which provides like a second defense. It's like a second defense from mechanical damage before we start destroying the inner layer. So that's just how it is. Then the next layer is the endocuticle. The endocuticle is inside the innermost cuticle layer. It has significantly lower natural sulfur content than the other 4 layers. So that is how the endocuticle actually is the only layer that swells and expands when exposed to hair. I don't know if you've noticed when your hair is dry, you've blow dried your hair. If you do, which I don't advise you should, if you blow dry your hair or your hair is dry, it tends to be thinner and less in the head. But when it's wet, it's fuller. Why? Because of the endocuticle. And the cuticle expands and contracts. Expands upon coming to contact with water. I won't bore you with the other whole things, but just to brush through, they are like bonds. Hair has bonds, if you remember chemistry. There's disulfide bond. That's basically the sulfur bond. That's actually the most significant in black hair community, because the most disulfide bonding that occur in the fiber, the curlier and the kinkier the hair. That's profound. So I repeat that. The more disulfide bonding occurs in the fiber, the curlier and the kinkier. So if you find your hair is curlier or kinkier, it means you have more disulfide bonds. And these bonds are very strong and cannot be broken by water or heat manipulation. That is why you find even after you wet your hair, like the curl pattern doesn't change. In fact, it becomes even stronger. Or when you straighten your hair, when you come into contact again with water, it's gonna shrink back to its normal curl pattern. The only time you can break it is using a relaxer. That's chemical relaxer. That's the only time the disulfide bonds can be broken. So the next bond is the salt bond, which is throughout the cortex. The salt bonds are basically broken by pH, changing pH. That means, for example, your hair and your scalp is naturally between 4 to 5.5. Your hair is naturally 4 to 5.5, the pH. That is basically acidic, slightly acidic. And you find when you shampoo your hair, shampoos basically have a pH of around 14 to 10 there. When you shampoo, you change the pH to basic pH. That is why it's always important. You find people being advised to use shampoos and conditioners from the same brand, because how brands formulate is that the shampoo will be around 14, then the conditioner will be around let's say 6, so it goes lower so that it turns the hair and scalp to its normal pH, because a higher pH makes the hair cuticle open, and when you return to the normal pH, it closes. It not like literally closes, but it kind of like bends. Then we have the hydrogen bonds, which are the most flexible bonds in the hair care, and they're easily broken by the presence of water. And that is why you find when you spray your hair with water, especially dry hair, it becomes softer naturally because you've broken the hydrogen bonds. And that is why, for example, when you flat iron your hair or you blow dry your hair, you like literally, like the hydrogen bonds are completely altered. That is why, for example, if you hadn't used a good sealant, you'll find when you go out, and the hydrogen bonds come into contact with the moisture in the air, your hair shrinks back again. That is exactly why the hydrogen bonds. Or you'll find maybe your hair sets best, especially if you're using curls or twist outs. You will have curls or twist outs come out better when you set your hair when it's wet or slightly damp compared to when it was dry, because the hydrogen bond will set completely. Now, things you need to know about your hair. Your hair goes through 4 stages, growth stages. Now, and when I say your hair goes through, I don't mean like every follicle on your head grows through these same stages at the same time. No, each individual stage, hair follicle is always going through its stage at a specific time. That is why you find if for example all the hair follicles are going through the same stage at the same time, it would mean, for example, when they're at the dead stage, like you literally go bald, but you don't do that, yeah. Or if you're growing, you find like every area in your head will be growing the same length, and that's why you find hair on different parts of the head is different lengths, because of hair growth stage. So let's get straight into the hair growth stages. So the first stage that your hair goes through is the growing stage, which is also called the anagen stage. Then the second stage that your hair goes through is the resting stage, which is also called the catagen stage. Resting, like when your hair is not growing or it's not there, it's just resting. Also, if probably you've been measuring the same place and the hair is still the same, And then the next stage that your hair, the third stage that your hair goes through is the shedding stage, which is also called the telogen stage, where your hair sheds. And that's why there's a difference between breaking and shedding. When the hair sheds, it means it comes out literally from the root. That's why you find probably like you get a long strand of hair. That's how you know your hair is shedding. When it comes out very long and it has a bulb, a white bulb, especially if you check at one of the edges, it comes out with a bulb, it means it's shedding, it's not breaking. And like breaking, the hair comes out in pieces. Like when you comb, the hair is breaking into small pieces and they don't have a white bulb. Then the fourth and the last stage is the exogen. Exogen is literally the death stage. And this is where the hair follicles go dormant after a time, after shedding, before they start a new growth stage. So they die just before the third stage. So they die and they are preparing now for another growth stage. So they don't die and then you become bald. They die and then another hair strand now begins to grow. Now the length of the hair, the interesting part is that only 80% of your hair, however, ever enters an exogen phase. So whoa, this is good. So only 80% of the hair, however, ever enters an exogen phase. So it's only 80% of your hair that enters the death phase. The rest 20 doesn't even enter, so it's only 18%, which is quite encouraging. Though the percentage is quite high, but it's quite encouraging. Then the length of these faces is genetically predetermined and differ from various strengths. So when you're at the growth stage, you need to maximize that by massaging the scalp well, so that you maximize on the growth stage. However, these stages, the 4 stages, are determined by your genetics. Yes, they are. So the length of each face is determined by your genetics, and it may differ for various types of body hair. Now, the interesting part, now listen to this. She says the average anagen, now that's the growth stage, the average anagen or stage, that's the growth stage, lasts for 4 to 7 years. That's the average. Or, so it means it can be higher than that. Or it can be as short as 1 year or as long as 10 years. Ooh! It can be as long as 10 years or as short as 1 year, but the average is 4 to 7 years. Now the third part is, as we continue to age, our anagen phase slowly begins to shorten. Our growth phase begins to shorten, which is sad, but I think that's why you maximize on your hair growth when you can. Yes. Now we said the growth stage lasts from between as long as maximum 10 years or minimum 1 year. Now the resting stage, which is the catagen stage, lasts from between 4 weeks, from as little as 4 weeks to as long as, guess what? To as long as 4 months. So it can last from a minimum of 4 weeks to 4 months. That's the resting stage, the catagen. So actually when they stop, when the resting stage, the hair is not growing and it's not shedding. So that is why when the hair now moves to the shedding stage, it comes out with a white bulb. Why? Because growing already stopped and melanin stopped producing. Because your hair, the color of your hair is determined by melanin. So when during the resting stage it stopped and the melanin also stopped, that's why it comes out with a white shoot. Now listen to this one. It says 11% of your hair are in telogen phase, which is the shedding stage. 11% of your hair in the shedding stage, which is the telogen stage, and they are waiting to shed on their own, to come off on their own. They're just gonna fall, or they're waiting for you to be pulled out through probably when you're styling or when you're brushing your hair. So actually 11% of your hair now is waiting to shed. Now this is very cool. It says the greater percent of our hair is in telogen phase during the late summer or early fall month. So the last stage, the exogen, can last from between 5 months to 7 months. That's the dead stage, where it's just dead. It's just dead. Nothing is just. Factors that affect hair growth. Number 1, hormones. Yes, your hormones affect hair growth. Actually, what happens when you're expectant or when you're pregnant is that your hair is naturally in the growth stage, and when you give birth, it goes to the shedding stage or death stage. That's why you find probably you have post what's that called? After you give birth, you lose a lot of hair because of that. Because of your expectant hair was growing, it was on the growth phase. So you need to maximize that. However, you don't have to wait till you get pregnant. So hormones affect. Hormone is the one thing that affects. The next thing is the terminal length. That is how long your hair can grow when it's in the anagen stage. That's when it's in the growing stage. How long can your hair grow? However, I don't want you to think now because your hair is here, this is the maximum your hair can grow. No, your hair naturally now is the length of your hair now cannot determine how long you can grow hair. What determines how long you can grow during the growth stage, which is the anagen stage. So our hair does not stop growing because it has reached a certain length. it only stops growing after it has reached a certain time, and this time is determined by your genetics. If, for example, my genetics say that my genetics dictate that my anagen stage will take 7 years, so it's gonna take 7 years. There's nothing I can do. My hair, even if it grows till like 20 inches, it won't stop growing because it's reached 20 inches. The only time it will stop growing if that time, the time it's supposed to grow, is over. So you probably wondered why dreadlocks always grow long. Well, it's because their shed hair doesn't come out, and they have minimal breakage because of law manipulation. Even if the hair breaks, it's still inside, it's locked. That is why their locks grow long. So you'll find when someone, actually there's a method they do to unlock the hair. If you go to a professional now, it is available, and that is why you find when someone unlocks their locks, they're quite disappointed because they're expecting to retain the same length, but it doesn't happen like that, because whatever you have in your head now is shed hair, broken hair, and normal growing hair. So most of the time you'll find, of course, hair, as we said, breakage is inevitable. There will be some breakage, and there's also going to be like some shedding. So basically, which will not make you very happy. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any question or anything that I did not clarify, don't shy away. Just leave me a comment and I'll go through it and I'll answer it. And you can ask any question you want and anything you would like me to go through. I would really appreciate it. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe. Yes, subscribe to this channel and turn on that notification bell so that every time I upload a video and more content, you always get notified and you never miss a video. So thank you. Bye.